Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So for today's video, I am going to be playing with and reviewing the new Morphe 39S palette. This is the new palette that they released a couple weeks ago, and it's mainly pinks, purples, neutrals. It's just all around a really pretty palette, and I've played with it a couple times. I don't know if you can tell, but I have dug into it. I couldn't help myself. I couldn't wait to review it. So I've used it twice, and I will say I love it. It's a great palette. So I'm just going to be doing a couple looks. I think I'm going to do one on one eye and one on the other just to kind of mix it up. And yeah, let's get started. Also, you can probably see that I have a bit of a different background. So sorry that it's like always changing, but I just rearranged my room to how I like it. So my desk and where I do my makeup is right in front of my window. So the lighting is probably like A1. So cool. First, I'm going to start out with just baking my under eyes, because I will say there's a little bit of fallout and a little bit of kickback in the pan when you do use it. So let me just put some of this on. I am literally out of powder. I'm going to use the rest of it like right now. She is gone. Let's just jump right into one look. I think on one eye I'm gonna do more of a neutral look, because there are a lot of neutrals in this palette that you can still do something like, you know, I mean, there's a lot of neutrals, so you could just do, I did like a neutral brown eye last night, and I used this shimmer color, and it is called Bling Thing. So this one's called Bling Thing, and it has a bit of a pink like undertone to it. So when I like would move back and forth while I was like doing my makeup, I could see that there were like little hints of like pink sparkles in it. So I thought that was really pretty. First, I'm gonna start on my left eye, and I'm just gonna do a little neutral look. I think I'll do the same thing that I did yesterday to show you guys that, because I thought it was really pretty. So first, I'm taking my Morphe M456 brush, and I'm dipping into the shade Super Swanky, and I'm just gonna blend that into my crease but also onto the lid. And as I said, it is pretty powdery, so I would say you want to have your bake underneath just to like protect your base makeup that you already put down, because I had some issues with that the other day. I did a darker look. It didn't turn out that great. Part of my own fault, but it didn't turn out that great because it kind of got all under my under eye. So but yeah, I'm just gonna kind of bring that in the outer portion of my eye, and then also bringing that into the crease. But what I do like about these shades is that they're very buildable. I can grab just a little bit and it'd still be really pigmented, but then if I grab even more, it's a lot darker. And then going on with my Morphe M441 brush, I'm going to take the shade Decadent AF, which is a darker brown, and blend that in to deepen my crease. Yeah, and I would say that when you first start out with it, be really easy with your touch because of all of the powder. And then once you get it how you like it, you can blend even more. And then going back in with the M456 brush, I'm just going to take the first shade, Super Swanky, and blend the two together so we get more of a transition in between the two. And then before I move on any further into the eyes, well, I guess I'm still on my eyes, but I'm going to take my Morphe M212 brush, and this is just a really small, can you see it? It's just a really small detail brush. I'm just going to dip that into the shade Catch the Light, which is the middle shade, and the very middle shade in the palette, and take that on that brush and then spray it with some Fix Plus, and then I'm going to stick that into my brow bone, and I'm going to do that now just to make everything feel a little more blended and a little more like smooth when it all is finished. And I will say this highlight color is phenomenal. It is so stunning. I even said this the first time I used it. I think I liked it a little bit more than, I think it's Ring Light from the James Charles X Morphe palette. I really like this. I don't even know if you can see it. I think it has some chunkier flakes of like glitter, and I think that's what makes it a little better in my, at least in my opinion. But I think it looks absolutely stunning. Just blend that in there, and then what I'll do is I'll go back in with the M456 brush, and I'll just kind of very, very lightly go back in and kind of blend the two together so there aren't very harsh lines. And usually I like to do that first, but I always forget, so it really doesn't matter. That's my preference. But I'm going to take a different M456 brush, and I'm going to dip into the shade Fame Game, which is a little bit darker. I'm just going to blend that into the outer corner. It really doesn't do much, but it just gives a little bit more dimension. I would say it's a little bit similar to the shade Decadent AF. And then also kind of bringing it into the crease. Here's where I'm going to go a little bit different than what I did the other day. I'm going to take my Morphe M124 brush, which is just a tiny packing brush, and I'm going to take the shade Pure Luxe, which is just a metallic brownish goldish shade, I guess. And I'm going to pack that onto my brush and then spray it with some Fix Plus. And I'm going to pack this onto my eye as if I were doing a cut crease, but not with the concealer. I usually don't like to use much concealer when I do my cut creases because I like it to have a more natural line instead of that precise, really sharp line. See, this is really pretty. Yesterday I used the shade Bling Thing, which is next to the highlight color in the palette, and although it was really pretty, it had a little bit of a pink undertone, and I wasn't really expecting that when I put it on. So it kind of turned into a little bit of a pink look, and that's okay. I just wasn't expecting it, but it still turned out to be really, really pretty. And then I'm going to go back in with that M456 brush, back into the shade Fame Game, and blend out the edges. The one thing I will say with these neutral colors, and there's only, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe, there's only like 5 matte neutral shades, is I wish the two browns, one was darker than the other, because you can tell that it's darker a little bit, but not by that much. I wish it was like a deep, deep brown, just to kind of give the looks more dimension. And then I'm going to go back in with that packer brush and just pack a little bit more on. Now that I have the top of the eye done, I'm going to go in and wipe my bake off underneath and use my Morphe M431 brush and dip back into Super Swanky and Decadent AF and put that along my lower lash line. And then going back in with the Morphe M212 detailing brush, I'm going to dip back into the Catch the Light highlighter shade. And with a spray of some Fix Plus, put this on my inner corner. And since I'm done with this eye, I'm going to go ahead and put highlight on this side. And I'm going to use that same Catch the Light highlighter and put as my highlight. But this eye's all complete, so let me go ahead and pop on some mascara. I don't want to put on lashes yet. I'll wait till I finish both eyes. So I just put my mascara on, and I'm going to wait to put on my lashes, but I'll move on to the other eye. So if you want to see a more colorful, pinkish, purplish look, then keep on watching and you can see what I do on this. So for the other eye, I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of a pink look. I'm not really sure like what direction I want to go in with it, but there are a lot of matte pinks in the palette. There's 4 like pretty bright matte pinks, so I think I'm going to do something really bright, maybe bringing it to like a maroonish color. So I don't know, but let's get started on that one. First, I'm going to take my Morphe M456 brush. I have a lot of these, and I'm going to dip into the shade Pink Prize, which is this baby pink color, and I think it's gorgeous. It kind of reminds me a little bit of, I think it's Pinkety Drinkety in the James Charles palette. Or I'm pretty sure that he said that there aren't any duplicates in this palette. So I'm just going to dip into this and bring it into my crease. It's kind of light, so I mean you can't really see it on me, I'm sure. But this is just a nice shade to use as a transition, as just blending all the colors together. And I think I'm going to make this look a halo eye. So I'm going to bring it deep into the inner and outer corner along with the crease. Yeah, I will say with this shade there is a lot of kickback in the pan and not really much fallout. I think kickback is really the only problem I'm having. I think it is such like a powdery formula, so I'm not used to this with Morphe, I feel like, but I'm really not bothered by it. It's not something that bothers me. And before I move on, I'm going to go back in with that Morphe M212 brush, and instead of using Catch the Light, I'm going to be using Perfection as my brow bone highlight and inner corner highlight. It's just a brighter, lighter color for highlight instead of that all around neutral color. I think brow bone highlight is like my favorite thing to do. I will just like sit here and like pack it on like forever. And then going back in with that M456 brush to blend it out. And then going in with the same brush, the Morphe M456, I'm going to dip into the shade Very Good, which is a bright pink. I would say hot pink. And blending that into my crease, being really gentle at first and then building it up. And then also putting it on the inner corner and the outer corner. And then once I have that done, I'm going to go back into Pink Prize and just blend everything together. And next I'm going to be taking my Morphe M506 brush and dipping into the shade Wine Not, which is a maroon like red wine color, hence the name wine. And I'm going to take that and put that in my inner and outer corner just to kind of create or start creating that halo effect. This actually isn't as dark as I thought it was going to be, because in the palette it looks really, really dark, but I'm kind of okay with that. And for this look, I think I actually am going to go in with concealer when I do the halo eye. So I am going to be taking my Shape Tape and I'm just going to put it onto a Morphe M224 brush and placing a small dot in the center down there and then looking up to find where my crease is. And then packing it just in the middle, not going in too far and also not going out too far. And then with that, I'm just going to be taking another M124 brush, which is a packer brush, and grabbing this shade Here For It, which is a metallic-ish. I actually think it's one of their new formulas. I know that this palette, they came out with a couple new formulas, and I think the middle shades are the new formulas, but I'm not exactly sure. I'm just taking that on a packer brush and then spraying it with some Fix Plus and then putting that on there. And I used this shade the other day and it's kind of hard to get it to build up, so it does take patience and it does take a little bit of time to actually get pigment down. Okay, so my camera just died, but we're back. So after I did Here For It on the center part of the lid, I went back in with that Morphe M506 brush and went back into Why Not to blend out the edges between the inner and the outer and the middle part. Just to make everything nice and smooth and cohesive and everything. So that actually kind of covered quite a lot up. So I'm going to go back in to Here For It with just my finger and pat a little bit over that just to bring it back. So there we go, there's that. And then let me wipe off my bake and I will finish the under eyes. And going in with a different M431 brush, I'm going to take that Pink Prize and also Very Good and mix the two together and just put that on my lower lash line. So after I have that, I'm going to go back in with that M212 brush and dip back into Perfection and put that in my inner corner. And doing the same, I will take my M501 brush and using that shade to do my highlight. And I will put some mascara on and then pop on some lashes. And I will be right back. So here are both looks complete, and I popped on my Lily lashes in the style Diamond. This is the completed look. So one eye is neutral and one eye is pink, and they were both completed using the new Morphe 39S palette. So for my review, I will say that this is a great palette. I am obsessed with it. I love it. It is perfect. The shades are so pretty. The colors, all the colors are gorgeous. The shimmers, gorgeous. They all are so pigmented. There is a little bit of fallout and a little bit of kickback in the pan, but it doesn't bother me, so I'm fine with it. Whatever. So I will have to say that this is probably going to be one of my favorite palettes this summer, and I just love it. It is gorgeous. So that being said, this is the end of the video, and make sure to give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment down below maybe of some other videos that you would want to see. I'm really interested in doing a get ready with me or / get unready with me. So I would do like my morning routine and my night routine, maybe all in one, I don't know. But comment down below, tell me what you think, and you can follow me on all my social medias. They will be linked down below. See you guys next time. Bye.